Well, hello, fellow gardeners, homesteaders, ranchers, and container gardeners. We can all grow good food for ourselves and our families, so we're back out here in the greenhouse season, and we want to give you an update on these onions. So we showed you last week, after we got those onion sets in, Sissy will come down in here and get one out. See those white roots right there, folks? That's brand new regenerated roots. They're already putting right there, for instance. Now those are new. So that onion is doing what it needs to do, and they'll all do it, like I said, at some point. Usually the bigger the bulb, more energy they got. And when you get these little tiny ones, sometimes we'll go to the field with them, and they're just so little it just takes them forever to catch up. But here's what's true. You don't ever get these onion sets like this that are evenly and uniform. If you do, I'd be shocked. But this is the quick way to grow onion. Now there's a lot of guys that are starting to grow from seed. You put them in the fall, usually October, November. Put them in one of those seed flat trays like we showed you, and you grow those onions out. But the trick to it, you want to put them outside. Well, the reason why you don't do that's number one, get them acclimated to cold weather, and they'll hold. In other words, they'll grow a little, and they won't jump out of there and really start growing in earnest until you get more day length and warmth and night temperatures come up and all that. But what it affords you to do is it gives you a jump on these. If any of you guys ever watch Hoss Tools, they've really started pioneering some more growing from seed. Now this is what these are. These bunching onions, we call them. Look at there. That's the red ones. And look at that one. That's shooting good roots out, and see, they're pulling up that compost. It's just packed in there. Those roots are absorbing that stuff like nobody's business. Well, these growers are mainly in Texas. I'm not going to say all of them's from Texas, but most of them's in Texas, and they grow these from seed. They grow them anywhere from a 24 to 30, 36 inch beds, and they'll go in and they'll hand pull these, and they'll rubber band them, then trim the top, and they'll put them in a crate. But that's how these are produced. But I just wanted to give a shout out to Leon Sloan with Leon's Greenhouses, and his YouTube channel is Gardening with Leon. If we hadn't run across him on YouTube, we'd have never known about these wicking tubs, and we'd have still been probably conventional farmers. Urban farmer Curtis Stone's another good resource. He actually helped us tremendously getting those carrots started in the fall of the year. That's the toughest time you'll get them to germinate in the fall, because it's usually, in Oklahoma anyhow, it's hot, soil temperatures are high, and we'll do one of those this fall. We'll show you how to get those going. But anyhow, I'm speaking of carrots. I did that other video. We did that really fast, and I didn't have time to do it step by step, but we'll get you one in for that. But sometimes you just have to go. You don't have time to wait. But we're gonna title this video today, "What is eating our collards?" Well, so I'm gonna go around. Sissy's gonna show you. Look at this, folks. We picked some of these, but Sissy, you'll have to come in right here. See that slime on that leaf? I don't know if the camera will pick it up. I'll move it so it'll kind of glisten. There's no worms this time of year. There's no beetles that'll do that. That is a slug. That's a telltale sign, dead giveaway, that that's a slug. They get about, I don't know, this long. They got little antennas, no shell. You've probably seen some of them. But that's what's doing that. And how we're going to remedy that, Sissy will show you right here. Come in here, honey. I've got an old yogurt cup down here. Well, what I'm going to do to catch them, I'm making a beer trap. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm feeding them good too. They're getting Budweiser. They're not getting Keystone Light. So here you go. We're going to make this beer trap. This will foam, of course. And I'll go to this next one, let that one settle down. We'll get beer in this one. And this is a really good way to catch these slugs. You can put a pint jar down in the ground with water and yeast in it if you want to use that. But just keep in mind you want to put those just above the soil line. That way they'll crawl up to it. They'll smell that beer, and they're coming to the yeast is what they're coming to. And you don't have to fill them all the way full. I'll keep some of this beer over here just to retop them. And come out tomorrow morning, I won't be shocked if there's not 3 or 4 of them. It looks like there's, maybe 1 or 2 at the most. No more damage than that is, but.
Yeah, but look over here also.
Yeah, exactly. See, that he's been all the way out here. But we'll feed these damaged ones to the rabbits, and we'll eat the good ones, and they'll regrow some more leaves. But these aren't far. We got a real bad cold spell coming in this weekend. Supposed to get down, I think Lowe's and Tulsa's supposed to get down to like 13, 14 degrees, only around 15. But man, that's really cold for February. But not surprising, we've seen it before. But we'll move back around here, and we're gonna. That's where I'm going with this really cold. See, we put these young plants that we just got sprouted out. Now look right here, guys. Here is these purpleette onions. They have just started coming out here. So they've sprouted, germinated, and they're pushing up out of the soil. There's a whole bunch of them underneath there hadn't come out yet. See right there's one. I just uncovered it. You see them? There's a couple of them there. They'll be. I think that packet had 1,000 seeds in it. So there's going to be a ton of them in there. But what we're going to do, so we're going to take these, we're going to put them in this one. I put 2 racks back to back. And we don't want these nighttime temperatures to get so low that it freezes them. They'll take a lot of cold, but young plants are susceptible to getting a lot of damage. So we got some clear, this is just 4mm plastic. And we'll cover this whole rack all the way from top to bottom. And you don't really have to weight it down or anything. It'll retain the heat. But what you're after, this greenhouse plastic that we put on, it's gonna get up to around 18 degrees coverage, 15 to 18. That's your buffer, even when it gets down low at night. And then up toward early morning, that's when it really gets cold. So then we'll put this layer on and double cover this. So you're getting double the insulation. You're gonna gain anywhere from about 28 to 38 degrees. Especially if you get a little sun. I don't care how cold it is outside. We get the sun working for us in here and heat this black fabric up on the floor. It'll raise that soil temperature up, and all that will get captured underneath here. And it'll carry these plants through this cold spell really well. And that's what we're going to do to try to avoid any damage on them, because they're so young. If they were a little bigger, I wouldn't worry too much about them. But we may have an interruption in videos, guys, coming up. We're changing our internet service. We're getting fiber optic. They're running that as we speak on down by the lake from us, but they're going to bring it in here. We should have it in another week or 2. But we'll keep you updated and let you know if we caught any slugs, and we'll give you another update on these onions. But just want to share this with you real quick. Don't let these roots get real long, because what they'll do is they'll mat together, and when you try to pull these apart and plant them, they're pretty tough. So just kind of pull them up and lay them over on their side, and just roll them back and forth till you get ready to take them to the field or out in your garden or in these containers, however you're going to grow them. Or you can take and put them in a plastic bag, and take that plastic bag, leave the top sticking out, and you can just use a grocery handbag and tie it off, and that'll retain that moisture in those roots and those bulbs. And you can carry them for, I don't know, a week, 2 weeks. If it's cool at night, they'll stay good. And then when you get ready to go, they're so much easier. One year we let them get too long. My God, they looked like they had a beard hanging off from them. And I had to take scissors and trim them again to get them apart. But just so you know, sometimes they grow really fast, sometimes they don't root all that fast, but the premise is to get them with new roots. That way, when they hit the ground, you put them in that row. When we put nutrient down, we usually plant carrots on a 30-inch bed, and we'll show you how we do that at the farm. And for those of you that don't know, we do farm at Carlton Landing. That's where our farm is. We've got a big high tunnel greenhouse up there we've got to cover, and we're going to fill it with 2 rows of these tubs. What we have, honey? 36 or 38 total tubs, these wick tubs.
Yeah, well, there's 48 going down both sides, 24 on one and 24 on the other, and on the corners.
Yeah, we'll try to squeeze in a few extra ones, but the main thing is that at the farm up there, we get those tubs in there, and we're going to trellis them on the 2 outside purlin runs. That's where we've got the structure on the frame to go up and tie them, and I'll show you right here. So this is pan on that tub I got that dirt in, and right here you can see the holes. You can drill holes. That's the neat thing about these cattle tubs. They got a little flange on them, and drill these holes in there, and we'll run our trellis strings up and go up to the purlin on that greenhouse. This is actually the one we have here. It came as a kit, and it had the ripstop fabric already pre-sewn. You just put everything on it, kind of velcroed together. I'll tell you what, guys, in some parts of the country, you probably could do good. We did. We grew plants in them pretty good, but well, they were drafty, and the vent windows on them. Once you get them on, get them tight, take that Velcro and roll that window up. That part works great. Guess what? When you come back to seal your window back up overnight, it don't want to get square because it sags on the bottom of that window. Your roll-up cover does great, but then you got this sag in it, and we just never could really get them work right. But we added wood up here. What I did, we took these anchor bolts, these self taps, and run them through with a drill, and that gave us attachment points to put the plastic. And here's another. This is our hip board run, and later on we put roll-ups on that curtain on both sides. That gives us more ventilation. We normally do that in May, sometime in May. But you probably wondered what these blocks were, this foam. We just stick these in here to take up the slack, like today with this wind, keep them from popping, but we're still getting some of that. But this is a good way to not waste a good greenhouse frame. They're the same exact frame that you see on the internet for a carport. With the cover, you just put a tarp on, bungee them down. Some of them come with a full kit like that, and it's just an intermediate garage. You can park your equipment, your car, and everything else in there. But they make a good greenhouse. They're really sturdy. You just want to make sure you anchor. You want to anchor them down on the edge of these things. And we used, I don't know what we cut, 2 or 3 feet rebar, and I curled it over on top and drove it in with a sledgehammer. So short of a tornado, I don't see this one moving around much. But that's all for today, folks. And if you like this video, if it was helpful, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel. That helps us out more than you know, and we'll make you more growing videos.